Hello, hi. My name is Colin and I want to build a better world. I've had this goal in my life since the age of 16. The video is called the Theory Part A. It's on my website. So when I was 16, I was top in the exams in science in the school, and at the same time I saw these news reports on the news on TV about famines in Ethiopia. People were dying because they had no food. So I thought I would like to do something about that. So I thought, what can I do? And I thought, well, I could become a doctor. But then I thought there are millions of doctors throughout the world, and that has not solved the problem. Excuse, but I get a dry mouth. So I thought we need a totally different approach. That's what I thought was needed. Something completely different and fresh to go directly at the source of the problem. So it was a sunny morning, and I was 16 years old, and I was thinking, why isn't the world perfect? Individuals not perfect. So why are individuals not perfect? And I thought about it, and I thought, if you look at a saturated solution of copper sulfate, it will grow a crystal. And if you keep the solution saturated, the crystal will just get bigger and bigger in the same shape. If you add an impurity like sodium sulfate, then a crystal will never form. So I deduced from this that every individual in our world is born with some kind of an impurity. I thought, if I can understand the nature of that impurity and publish the idea, I can save the world. So that was my idea, that's my plan, how I want to save the world. Discover the impurity, explain it to people. So I'm trying to follow the scientific method. The first point is to never make an assumption. No assumptions at all. So the essay is philosophical, but I do not assume in my work that God exists. I don't refer to the founder of any holy religion, and I don't refer to any holy book. So I'm trying to work on a basis of absolutely no assumptions. Now, using the scientific method, you can propose a theory, but you have to prove it with objective experiments or by looking at evidence. You have to prove it. So I will propose a theory that I've heard. Everything in the universe exists in a relationship of complementary pairs between a subject and object aspect, where the subject is big and strong, has a purposeful whole, and the object is small and beautiful and has a purpose for individual. Okay, that's the theory. So I'm going to try and prove it by making observations of the known universe. So let's look at a simple atom like a hydrogen atom. A hydrogen atom has a large, heavy, positive particle, a proton, at its centre. And going round the proton, is an electron cloud that's small and light and negative. And this is true for every element in the periodic table. Okay? That's one piece of evidence. Another piece of evidence is looking at yin and yang, as the Chinese explained it. Humans are male and female. Animals are male and female. Fish are male and female. Flowering plants are male and female. And particles are positive and negative. And this is a masculine-feminine relationship where, generally speaking, the masculine aspect is big and strong compared to the feminine. Other examples within astronomy include our solar system, where you have the sun that is large and heavy and massive with strong gravity, and planets spinning around it which are smaller. And also, scientists are beginning to find supermassive black holes at the centre of galaxies. Again, the black hole is subject and the stars going around it are object. So this also proves the theory, because in each of these cases the masculine is, or the centre is strong compared to what goes around it. So therefore I'm arguing that all organic and non-organic existence features a complementary pair between a subject and object, and this proves the theory. It's interesting to note, because of the symmetry throughout all of this, that is probably a single point of origin. So, I said that the subject has a purpose for whole and the object has a purpose for individual. So I want to prove that idea now. Look at a cell in your skin, in your body. The cell is in the object position and the body is in the subject position. So the cell needs to live, it needs to survive, it needs to exist, and that's its purpose for individual. But the cell creates skin for the body, and that's its purpose for whole. And this is true for all cells in our body, like a blood cell, brain cell, muscle cell. They all stand in the object position to the body, and they all need to survive. That's the purpose for individual, and they all have a function for looking after the body, giving credit to the body, which is its purpose for whole. So it's true for all cells in our body. It's also true for all cells in any animals or plants' bodies, except for cancer, which does not have a purpose for whole. Turning to look at females, human females, girls admire beauty and they aspire to be beautiful. How can I prove that? Look at any fashion magazine, it's full of images of beauty. And a beautiful woman wants one thing from a man, true love. So therefore the theory then becomes, to be perfect, we have to be experts at love that has a purpose for whole, and beauty that has a purpose for individual. So perfect love and perfect beauty will naturally attract each other and unite totally through give and take action. They attract and they unite. Now turning to look at free will, I'm going to argue that every individual is 100% in regards to its free will. So people can be heinously evil or beautifully sacrificial. There's nothing to stop them, and this proves that our humans actually exist in an environment of 100% freedom, and this has to be respected in the theory as it evolves. So the theory becomes, for an individual to grow to perfection, we have to be experts at love and beauty, totally united by give and take action, centering on 100% free will. This is a new theory, it's a foundation for a complete philosophy, and immediately it has political implications, because if you accept the idea, as I've tried to argue, that we need 100% freedom, it has relevance to historical wars like World War I, World War II, etc. It also has relevance for our society now, with Russia and China, I'm talking about winter 2024, which do not have freedom at the centre of their systems. And also certain religions don't have freedom at the centre of their systems. So that's the theory. I think it's a work of genius, and in my experience, and I'm unbiased, it works perfectly. It does work. It's not my idea. I'm not this clever. It was the idea and discovery or invention of a guy called Sun Myung Moon, a Korean guy, and he died 10 or 15 years ago. But he assumes that God exists in his ideas and his theories, whereas as what I've just tried to explain now does not rely on that assumption. I do not need to assume that God exists. I've proven it all logically without referring to that assumption. So my idea becomes like a piece of engineering, that any professional, any background, any religion, anywhere in the world who's been educated in the scientific method can believe, understand and follow. That's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed it. Please email me if you have any questions, get in touch. And I want to say one thing: let's build a better world. Please. Thank you. Bye.